Hello and welcome. Now this video is going to be part 3 of this knife maintenance mini series, I suppose, of it's not going to be sharpening, I've done that, and it's not going to be how to use the Sharpmaker, kind of like a basic tutorial. What it will be is an extension of the sharpening, but it will be more about lubrications, cleaning, things like that. So you see me use the Sharpmaker in the other video or videos. Yeah, there are other sharpening systems out there that you could use depending on what you need to use, and for which particular knife. Now the extension from the knife sharpening is these rods. Now these rods, I've tried many different ways of cleaning these rods. Because you will be left with steel on the rods. That is an outcome of knife sharpening. I've used, the not toilet cleaner, but bathroom cleaner, sodium bicarbonate, everything you think of. The best kind of thing I can say with it is use some toothpaste. Yeah. Pro expert, and it's really good toothpaste actually, but I got it free in the dentist. Try and get some free toothpaste. Any old toothpaste will do. And what you do is you just squirt a little bit along the edge with a little bit of water, let it activate, so to speak, and get one of these scouring pads and really give it a really hard scourer, I don't know, give it a really good hard rub to get all of that steel off, and keep dabbing it with water. It's quite self-explanatory really, but it's a good little tip that I use, and you can do that on all of the rods, not just the white ones. You can do them on the brown ones as well. Get all the colours of the rods clean that way. So you use your toothpaste and you use your scouring pad. Could use a little one of these if you don't have a scouring pad, but it will destroy the top part of it, mainly because these are man-made. You don't just find them in the earth. The only thing that will actually cut these in a way are the rods themselves. Even metal files, that will take the teeth off metal files. So that's a good little tip. Once I've normally done before I've done my sharpening, what I'd normally do is I would actually perform any maintenance, like have a look inside a knife, anything like that. And what I've got for that is I've actually got like a big old toolbox. All you guys have got toolboxes and things, so I've just got this old toolbox that I've had for absolutely ages. It's got loads of funky little toys and things in there. Everything you can think of. It's got lots of different things in there. It's got watch repair items. It's even got a little bloke there to keep you company. Got everything. You got your torch as well. Didn't know it was going to be that bright. I've also got this Victorinox sharpener. Quite handy to have with you. I mean, honestly, if you are going away on holiday and you are a bit, say, worried, concerned about your knives getting blunt or whatever, you can just, as a quick fix solution, obviously, you can just get this kind of magic, I suppose, pen, and just give it a good little rub on the edge. And that will give it, that will restore some of its edge. If it's too bad and it's kind of almost irreparable, you pull the top off and you've got this ceramic rod to help you even more. Anyway, that's another sharpening system that I didn't have at the start of the video, so there we go. Anyway, back to the little box. Now, for opening my knives up and things, I used to use one of these. Okay, now one of these is a Burka. Not even a Burka Plus, just a Burka, so that's excellent. However, unfortunately, German engineering isn't as good as it used. Well, that is debatable, so we won't go there. But nonetheless, one of these little bits, these torque screw bits, actually bent. The teeth bent, and I wasn't an idiot. I did put it in the right hole, but it just bent the teeth a little bit. Now, that was my experience of the Burka things, and these things aren't cheap. Whoa. I mean, yeah, the actual heads I suppose you could get replacements for, but the whole tool isn't cheap. I think it's about £14–15. Anyway, learnt my lesson. I went cheaper. And I got a is it a Draper? It's so well used that the Draper logo has actually gone off, but it is a Draper, and it's got a moving butt, I suppose, rotating butt, and it's got a few, I'll say a few, literally about 3, but it did come in a box of lots of different things. Okay, so there you go. That's what I use to take my knives apart. Unfortunately, I think it only cost me about £6, but unfortunately, one of my friends, he used his, and I think he did mess up his one of his heads, but that was on the Kershaw Cryo, so that knife's got a lot to answer for. Anyway, so that's what I'd normally do. I'd normally use my torque screwdriver to, just a pocket clip, take the pocket clip off, clean underneath it, maybe take the knife apart. Obviously not this one because it's a pin screw construction. Probably this one if you can handle taking the torque screws out and the pivot screw out and washing the washers, and well, you know how it works. But I would use torque screwdriver. It doesn't have to be this cheapo one. It can be any kind of decent, half decent one. That's what I use. So I do that. Obviously, if it needs washing, it needs washing. If it just needs oiling, obviously a few of these old t-shirt rags are quite good. Toothbrush, not just for your teeth, really does help getting into the insides of the knives and things like that. So toothbrush, that's quite a good, decent thing. So oiling, I mean, if it's had a fair bit of rust and things happen, which I have had it happen before, one of these little WD-40 cans, spray it, put it on your cloth, and just let it dry for a couple of hours, or let it soak in for a couple of hours. After you've done that, wipe it off, and then what you want to do is, after you've got the rust off, is you do want to coat it in oil, make sure it's got this PTFE, because that's kind of like the extra coating, as it were. All right, and it helps against the rust. So you've treated your rust with your WD-40, you've wiped it off, you've dried it, and then you put this coating on to prevent any more. You can use this, which is I think more expensive. This silicone lubricant, which is excellent as well. So you probably want to use this as well. Now, once you've done that, you're oiled, you cleaned your knife up, you then want to put some lube in it, and lube is very important, let me tell you. You can use this oil, and it depends on the item in question. I would put oil in, such as a Victorinox. Victorinox actually do their own oil, but I think it's about £10 or £15. This little thing, I don't know, maybe it's the earwax of Swiss labourers, I don't know, but anyway, it's very expensive stuff if you want to keep it all in the family, so to speak. But I'd use your normal 3-in-1 or Victorinox's own oil for these. You only need a very small amount, otherwise it runs everywhere and you end up it just slipping like a bar of soap in prison. Anyway, you can use the blue lube. Very, very good. It's what I use. Haven't looked back since I've used the blue lube. It is blue, so you can see kind of where it's going and things. Got to be careful because it can leave some kind of stains and things on white materials, white clothes, things like that. So, but what I would do there is literally, I would put a little bit along that edge where there is friction. Maybe insert a little bit up there. With a tenacious, I might have already taken it apart, and then I might just dab a little bit on each of the washers. This is it's getting a bit slow already, so you can actually, the nozzle is good so that you can hold it like that, just, you know, tip it slightly, and then there's some blue lube on your washers, and then it'll be good to go, lightning fast. I'm not even left-handed, but there we go. Anyway, so that's your lubrication, and then what you want to do is you want to polish your knife. You want to clean it up a bit. So again, use a different rag, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, you can get all these microfiber jobbies, and it's not really gonna make much difference because you can get that very sharp anyway. Very sharp, very shiny, very clean, and it will remove the finger marks as well. You just got to be so careful, because obviously this is probably, you're coming to the end of your knife maintenance, and you might be worn out. I don't know, it depends how much rubbing and lubing and scraping and scratching and things you've been doing throughout this, but you know, you're coming to the end of it. The last thing, you want to give it a good polish off, and you know, this is the point where, because your fatigue might have settled in, you know, you're polishing away, and whoosh, off goes your finger, and your cloth's full of blood. So you don't really want to be doing that. This is part where you want to spend an awful lot of attention, because there's so many times where I've gone to wash a blade and dried a blade, and I've literally just gone whoosh, like that, and sliced thumbs, fingers, whatever, and you don't want that, because then you have to wash and clean your knife all over again. Alright, and plus you've got to do your finger maintenance and put all your plasters and things. So anyway, so that's that. Covered everything in here. Now, this is just my system, just what I use, what I go through. Yeah, I suppose you could say it's a bit of an amateurish system, but hey, it works for me. You know, I don't have any £3,000 or £4,000 Rockstead knives, and if I did, I'd probably have enough money to pay someone to sharpen and do all that for me anyway, wouldn't I? But anyway, this is my system. This is what works well for me. Appreciate any comments down below. What works for you, your system, what you're comfortable with. I really do. And if you want to see any more videos like this, maintenance, things like that, please do put it in the comments. Anyway, thanks ever so much for joining me this evening, and thanks for watching. Take care.